It was just an ordinary night, yet the room felt heavy, cold, almost alive. I lay on my bed, my arm dangling off the edge, shadows trembling across the walls, the lamp flickering weakly. The curtains swayed in a faint breeze, dust floating in the dim light like tiny ghosts, and beneath the bed, darkness seemed to watch me. I froze, unable to move, unable to breathe, as if time itself had stopped. The darkness under the bed grew thicker, alive, almost pulsing with something unseen. My arm hung helplessly, suspended in the dim light, the shadows stretching and twisting across the walls. The curtains swayed in the cold breeze, dust drifting lazily, each particle shimmering like a tiny ghost. I dared not move, not a muscle, staring at the black emptiness below, feeling invisible eyes upon me. The darkness under the bed shifted slowly, like they were breathing. My arm still dangled over the mattress, the pale hand gripping my wrist, firm and cold. Dust floated in the weak flickering light, tiny motes moving like restless spirits. Every shadow seemed to stretch toward me. Every flicker of the lamp made the darkness feel closer. The pale hand below my bed began to move, slow, deliberate, pulling at my wrist. I could feel its cold grip, but my body remained frozen, unable to react. The lamp flickered violently, shadows twisting across the walls. The room seemed alive with a silent menace. I dared not scream, dared not move. Every second stretched into eternity. The pale hand beneath the bed pulled a little harder, my wrist trembling slightly, though my body stayed still. Shadows flickered across the room as the lamp struggled to stay lit, dust drifting like tiny restless spirits. Every creak of the wooden floor sounded like a shout in the silence. Every flicker of light made the darkness seem alive. I could feel invisible eyes upon me, waiting, watching, patient and cold. The darkness beneath the bed seemed to thicken, pressing upward toward my dangling arm. The pale hand gripped tighter, cold, unyielding, like it belonged to something not human. Dust drifted in the flickering lamp light. Shadows swayed and stretched across the room with every pulse of the bulb. I remained frozen, staring into the black emptiness beneath. Time slowed, each second heavy with fear. The shadows under the bed seemed alive, moving subtly, almost breathing. The pale hand held my wrist firmly, pulling slowly, deliberately, as if testing my fear. Dust particles drifted through the weak light. Curtains swayed softly, shadows stretching across the walls. I could feel unseen eyes upon me, the silence pressing, heavy and suffocating. The pale hand beneath the bed began to pull harder. My wrist pressed painfully, yet my body stayed frozen. Shadows twisted across the walls as the lamp flickered wildly. Dust drifted like tiny, restless spirits in the weak light. The darkness under the bed seemed to reach out, expanding, almost alive, waiting for the smallest twitch. I could feel it watching me, patient and cold, every heartbeat echoing in the silent room. The hand beneath the bed tightened its grip, my wrist aching, yet my arm remained motionless. Shadows flickered violently across the room as the lamp struggled to stay lit. The air felt heavy and alive. Dust drifted slowly in the dim light. Curtains moved faintly in the cold breeze, stretching the shadows further. I stared into the darkness beneath, frozen in fear, feeling invisible eyes watching every movement I didn't make. The darkness beneath the bed seemed endless, swallowing my arm slowly, pulling it into the shadow. The pale hand released my wrist for a moment, only to grip it again, cold and unyielding. Dust floated through the flickering lamplight, shadows twisted and stretched across the room, alive with silent menace. I stared frozen at the black emptiness below, the silence pressing against me, every second heavy with fear.